What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Black Belt Beauty Radio, and welcome to Solosode number 2 in video. This is a whole another level of awesome challenge, you guys. Just here I am rapping out with my computer and you on video. Don't fuck up. You guys, so check it out. I want to get into this right away and just say that this episode almost did not make it. And there's good reasons for that I'm about to get into. But I also want to talk about, why it is here, why it's happening right now, along with some other ideas that I have for this conversation. So here's the thing. It's my birthday week, right? I'm a few days away from leveling up to 42, which is super exciting for me. I'm very grateful to be alive still, that's number one. And number two, I'm proud to say that I truly am leveling up in my life. Things are continuously getting better, from within and out. And, I'm proud of that because I know it's the result of the constant work that I am putting in to see that is the case, right? And from that, the leveling up, it's also producing a lot more work. So the load every day as an entrepreneur, building a brand, having a podcast, living the life that I live as an athlete and all the things, it's there's a lot more weight to the load, right? And I am proud of my ability, like how I'm handling it all. But it's a lot, right? So I thought, okay, you know what? This week, I'm going to give myself a little bit of a break and, perhaps not put out an episode and just come out and tell you guys on social IG or whatever, and just say like, I love you, but I needed to opt out this week to just do me, right? Which is totally valid, right? I'm sure, all of my listeners would appreciate that. But here's why I didn't do it. Number one, I really love being here with you guys. I do. I mean, this video part is hard right now. It's much easier to, be talking to someone on video than it is just to be here with myself. And I'm always, I'm fucking freestyling right now, right? But I genuinely love being here with you guys, right? And the other piece that's so important, and I really want to expand on this, is that I'm fucking all about consistency, you guys. It's a through line to my life, and it's a through line to the messaging, in everything that I share through Black Belt Beauty, right? So what I didn't want to do is just all of a sudden I'm not there. Like I said, it's not like anybody, you guys would be like, where did she go? It's me. It's the accountability, the consistency the standards that I hold for myself, and the things that I'm creating and doing and want for myself in my life, right? So it was really important after thinking about it. I was like, no, I need to produce an episode. I want to produce an episode. And by the way, it is my birthday week, so it's cool to, create this conversation with myself, that will live forever on the podcast as I move from 41 to 42. Here's how I met myself halfway. It was important, the idea of me taking somewhat of a break, right? And just giving myself some breathing room was also so valid and so important, right? So what I did instead is, it's Wednesday. I'm recording this and there was no episode dropped on Tuesday, right? Which at this, I'm so proud of this, but me and my team have worked really hard to get the podcast up. Every single Tuesday there's a new episode. Whereas before it was every week. Sometimes it would be like 9-10 days. And that really started to get to me because I don't like that, going back to consistency. I'd like to be consistent. When I say I'm going to do something, I do it. Right. And so, but to do this every Tuesday episode drop, oh my goodness, let me tell you, it's a whole nother level of challenge. It really is. It just doesn't stop, right? Again, beautiful work, but it's still work. So here I am on Wednesday. And, so the idea here was that I stayed consistent because there is an episode that you guys are taking in this week, but I gave myself just a little bit of room. So rather than, on the day where I would have been just like on a deadline to make sure that I got this episode done so that it was coming out on Tuesday, I took that time off. I made a really nice dinner for a very close friend of mine and had a really great conversation. And that was really important for me. Also, just, with the COVID and the quarantine and all that. While I am someone who does very well on her own as an introvert, I love to be with myself, and I am a lot of times, but I also do love, engaging and interacting with my loved ones, with people that I really care for. And so it was nice to take this break for a moment and just be in all of my feminine energy, listening to Sade and, cooking this amazing meal and then having this really enriched, enlightening, elevating conversation with a very good, talented friend of mine. It was so necessary, right? And it just, it was just like a little bit of breathing room. And here I am. I'm still here in the game, keeping up with my promise. It was just, it's just not on a Tuesday, right? My bad. So, and actually, I think this episode is going to come out on Friday. So it'll be several days after, the day that you typically get a new episode. This is why it's so important, though, aside from just, how that affects me in my life, why I think this is important to share with you, and that I feel like it could be very supportive to you in your life. Everything under Black Belt Beauty is about, being this holistic high performer. So, you're not crushing it just in one area of your life. You are first and foremost making sure that your internals, from your mindset to your biology to everything that makes you from inside is running optimally, right? Next, you want to make sure, it's so important to make sure that, you're not just crushing it in business, you're also, upholding healthy relationships and, with yourself, with your loved ones, you're having fun, you're playing, you're doing all these things. This is holistic high performance. This is touching all of the major areas in life, right? Because everything affects everything, right? The most important areas to us. So, I I have said this so many times in so many episodes, but I know what I will not become. No matter how demanding this brand building podcast show, like everything that I'm working on, how demanding the work is for me, I will never ever sacrifice my health, and really, like, I'll never drive myself to the point of burnout. And I'm very, very aware of it. It's actually really easy to go there, especially when you are passionate and you have purpose, like all these beautiful things that we always talk about. I know I certainly do with the brand: passion, purpose, vision. It's all fucking great. And it's all what I'm operating from. All the more reason why I could just do that one more email. I could just, not have done the dinner and just been on time with this episode. I could, just not have gone to the beach right now to get that last bit of golden light in and touch the sand that I promised myself I would do it on this full on day of work. I've been going all day, right? But that's not, to me, what, real, like a real fulfilling, rich life is. And to really perform at the highest level, we need to nurture these other areas and aspects of our life. We need to give ourselves this breathing room. We need to, like, literally back the fuck off sometimes, and have these healthy boundaries, and create them for yourself. When you're a high performer and or frame yourself as that or not, but you're just someone who, you're the kind of person who puts your head down and, like, keeps digging, all the more reason why you really are creating these beautiful boundaries to take care of yourself, to, keep the relationships that matter to you, nurtured and nourished, and all of the other things, right? So it was really, not only did I stay consistent? There's an episode, and that was very important to me, right? Expecting some things from myself, holding myself accountable, and being a woman of action, being consistent. But I also allowed myself this healthy, just kind of step away for a moment. No one's dying over here because I didn't put an episode out on Tuesday, right? Oh, you're getting it on Friday. But the point I'm trying to make, you guys, is that, I honored myself. I stayed agile, and I stayed, I really listened to something that I needed to listen to. And I think, oftentimes it's really fucking easy to ignore that stuff. Like in the example of, even a healthy routine, your meditation, your all these things that you do to keep you healthy, to keep you feeling good. When it becomes such a load of work that you feel like you need a break from maybe even one part of it, like most of the say, I'll give you a real life example for me. There might be a day where I just don't feel like journaling. And if you know me and you're paying attention to me, journaling is my everything. I fucking love it. But I'll tell you, if I don't feel like journaling that day, like it's okay. I'm not going to journal because maybe instead I wanted to get a little bit extra time of movement in because that's what I know I needed, right? This is really important stuff to pay attention to. It's this idea of like not being controlled by the things that, even the things that are important, the things that take care of you, the things that matter to you, and rather you being in control of, this kind of navigation, like listening to this internal feeling and, knowing what you need and navigating from that. There's more fluidity there. There's more kind of surrender there. And that is to me where real control is, right? If you're gripping, if I would have just like held on to this, no, I gotta get the episode of that, and ignored I'm just going to frame it as like my feminine energy that was really, really like, hey, Rox, like I need some attention right now. Like she's always here every day with me, but she needed an extra bit of love. If I didn't honor her, I don't think I would be, I don't know, feeling as good as I do right now here with you, creating this episode. So I just want to plant that seed of thought in your minds, wherever you are in your life right now. I really hope that you honor, this feeling. And listen, there's a big difference of being lazy and being, procrastinating and putting things off. We're not talking about that here. And I believe that, for those of you who have been, dialed into me and all that I share and everything under Black Puppet, you fucking know that's the last thing I'm doing, right? And if I feel myself procrastinating or doing something like that, trust me, I know how to crack the whip. But it's because of that too that I know, if I really do feel like I need a break, we're okay. We're okay. We're going to give ourselves that break, right? So I think that was something really, I just robust that it was also just very real life, that I felt would be rad to share in this episode with you. And then, yeah, moving on, I have a couple of other things that I do want to talk about before the light totally shifts. I want to talk about just, I'm going to share some fun stories. So I want to talk about fighting for what you believe in. Man, I have to be so mindful because I know that my brain right now can go like out here in all these directions. But I think let me set it up like this. Okay. One of the things I am so proud about thinking about my life as I'm turning 42, 41, 42. As I witness myself, I talk about this all the time. Witness yourself. There's so much power in that. And a lot of people don't want to do that, right? Because you might not like what you see, but that's where the opportunity to learn, to edit, to grow exists, right? If you're not looking, then that's the first problem, right? Witness yourself. There's a lot of beautiful things that come from it. I get to witness how, I show up every single day, you guys, with all of my fucking heart and my truth, doing doing the work from the internal to the external, and not even just for me, but like how I show up for my loved ones. I'm very proud of this. And it feels very good to sit here and say this so direct to you guys. Like, I'm not trying to be humble, like, fuck, legit, this is work that I do, and I'm really proud of it. So I'm owning it. One of the coolest things within this, idea of like just witnessing myself is that I have witnessed that I have throughout my life done a really good job of fighting for what I believe in. And I want to share some stories that, really are examples of this. And my hope, my intention here, it's not about me, you guys, as much as it's about the idea that lives in these examples, and maybe you getting to know me a little bit more, through these stories. But I do feel like there's something really valuable that could, support you in your life, for you to fight for what you believe in, even on the fucking smallest little things. Like, okay, let's go there. So you know, um, it's like the littlest things, you guys. I overpaid a credit card, right? And this credit card was said to me that they're going to, refund me that money. Okay, cool. So this is, how this goes, right? Like being on the phone, it's all this fucking work. It takes forever. It's annoying. And I have other things that are important to do, right? But here's where the fight starts to come in. Okay. So a couple days, whatever, week later, I don't see a check. And so I call and they say, okay, we're going to reissue. And I said, okay, if I get the check, should I, they go, oh, if you get it, you could just, put it in the account and it'll be fine. Like no problem. And so I'm like, great. So a couple days later, I actually got that check and I was like, well, fuck it. I'm just going to, deposit that check. So I do. And then a few days later, I get a thing from the bank that says that check, was no good. So then they charged me. I don't remember what the number was. I think it was like $20 or something. I don't remember. And the overpay was $50, right? So anyways, I call back the credit card company and I tell them, hey, this is what happened. So, not only, through your employee told me that I was able to cash this check, and I would not, it would be fine. Not only was that not true, but now I've been charged a penalty for it. And so I would like to, get that money refunded. And just to fast forward the story, the person, and you got to know, here's the thing. I've been on hold. Now I got to explain the whole story, all the things. I'm sure you've all been in a similar kind of situation, cable company, whatever. So you know how this goes, right? It's really easy, especially when you're really busy. I hate that fucking word, but it's true. To just let this stuff go. Because at the end of the day, it's not like hundreds of dollars, right? But there's a principle here. And my mom, I mean, I have to give all credit to her because she showed me this, like growing up, what it means to fight for what you believe in and just not accept no for an answer. So I tell the person, and the person says to me, I'm sorry, the best that we're going to be able to do is refund you. Whatever it was like $15 of that $20 penalty. And I was like, no, I'm not paying the $5 that occurred because I had permission to cash that check. You guys told me that was the case. I listened to you and now I've been charged this. So I want the full money back. Right? Like, what the fuck? And the person was like, I'm sorry. I'm like, okay, thank you. But let me speak to your manager. Person says, they're still going to tell you the same thing. And I said, cool. I'll say it all over again. Let me talk to your manager. Manager comes on, explain the whole thing again. Manager says, okay, hold on. Let me see what I can do for you. Manager comes back. Oh, I didn't tell you this part. They did credit me that $15 already, right? And so, but I still didn't want that $5. I didn't want to pay for it, right? I could have backed off. $5 fucking dollars, Roxanne. Are you serious? I am serious. And I'm not frugal. Like, it ain't even about that. Trust me. Okay. So the manager, puts me on hold and says, let me see what I can do. Comes back and gave me, I think it was like $15 more. Basically, you guys, not only did I, get all the money that I overpaid, not only did I get the refund of the bank charge that was made to me, but I made like $15 on it or some shit like that, right? And the point here was, and it's such a funny story, but I feel like it's a good one to share because, again, like maybe it was your cable company or something, like we've all been in these little Amazon. I mean, I won't even start. I have a, story very similar to Amazon. And we're talking about like change, like not that much money, right? And all the work that you have to put into doing these things. But you guys, I'm watching myself the whole fucking time. And I'm like, Rox, you could just stop, right? It's not like you don't have a ton of shit to do, right? Like you have so much to do. But no, there's a point here. And I'm showing myself something. Number one, I've got grit for fucking days. Number two, when something is right and something matters to me, I'm going to stick to the course. I'm going to win. I'm going to win. I had every right to win, right? Like they were wrong. And so why would I back down? That's where most people stop. I don't want you to stop. If that's you, like, I want you to keep going. And sure, here's the thing. You have to decide, it wasn't the money that was important to me. It was the idea that, I would accept something that wasn't right. It just wasn't. And I was willing to put in the effort to see the whole thing through. And then at the end of it all, I actually made some fucking money off of it. Well, you know what I'm saying? So it was like a reward on top of a reward. And the reward was like, no, I'm going into this fight, man. I'm going to go into it because let me tell you something. That situation and that noticing of myself, that witnessing, that is something that is transferred in so many areas of my life. I cannot tell you how many times I've been in situations where, I've got the no or, the roadblock or whatever. And I didn't stop there. I kept fucking going. And this is something that I want to live in this talk. Not only is it something that I'm honoring, of myself as I move into, year 42, but I think that there's an offering here that's supportive to you guys. You guys, if it really matters to you and if it's something that you really value and you believe in, you can't fucking quit, man. You got to keep going. And these little things, the credit card company, like this story that I'm giving you, this is this is reps in the gym because there will be a bigger situation, similar to this. And then it comes down to my skill set of how I'm able to pursue the fight and to handle it. I stayed in my, in this like place of intelligence. I wasn't operating from emotions. I wasn't like, on the phone, I was very composed. I was very firm at the same time. But all of this stuff, man, it's all repetition. And you can use these little everyday, even annoyances, because that shit was annoying, to get better in these areas. Do you see the sun setting? The shit is so real. It's crazy. Oh my gosh, I should have my blue light blockers on, but I'm going to, wrap this up soon. But I hope that does something for you, pay attention to these moments in your life, even the small ones like this, where, you can really practice and get better at being in these fights. I call it fights, right? It's kind of dramatic, but it's true. I mean, I was fighting for something that I valued, that I believed in, that I knew was right. Right. So it was a fight. I mean, the person literally said to me, like, the manager's going to tell you the same thing. I've already been on the phone. Shit's just getting harder for me in the day because now I have less time to do the things that are really important. But I value this. Because it was something that I wanted to accomplish for myself. Like, no, Roxanne, you are a fighter. And when you believe in something, you fucking go for it. And I might be repetitive right now, but I'm really I'm feeling it. So yeah, I'll stop there. I'll take a breath. I'll soften and just say that, you guys, I really hope that does something for you in your life and that you really remember this story. Another quick one, and then I'm gonna guide us to wrap this up. I want this to live outside of me. I really want to share this out loud, and having a podcast gives me the opportunity to do this. You guys, when I was, oh man, I think I was maybe 9 years old. I will never forget. So I always, I don't know, landed in this. I hate the fucking word, but it's true. Like, there's like the popular kids in school. Okay, whatever. I'd land in this group, but I was always the person that was also friends with everybody. Like you wouldn't categorize me, I would get along with anybody unless you were, somebody that was not cool. And then that would be another situation. Right. But I was friendly with everybody. And I remember being, in this group of girlfriends for the most part that I spent the most time with. And one day at recess, one of the girls in this group, she's kind of a fucking bully. Like, well, actually she was straight up a bully, but not to me, but like her attitude and her demeanor was this way. 9 years old. Okay. This is look at the impact. Here I am about to be 42. And I remember being on the playground, right? We're on the playground. And I remember there was this like quiet, super introverted, really cute Asian girl that was just playing handball with herself, against the fucking thing, right? You play handball. And I remember the girl's name too in the group, Katrina. Sorry to any Katrina out there. It's not you. It's just the girl. I'm just telling you a story. And she started making fun of this girl who was just totally just in her own piece, like, playing handball with herself. And I was so bothered by this, you guys. It really fucking upset me. What are you picking on this girl for? Huh? You know, she doesn't really have many friends already. Like, she's just doing her thing. Like, fucking leave her alone. That's how I felt inside. I really did. And the girl kept going, like, oh, look at her playing by herself. And it got to the point where I was like, no, fuck this shit. And I had never been in a situation where, with me and this girl where there was any kind of issue. I couldn't stand it though. It really bothered me. So I stepped to her and I was like, yo, leave her alone, you know? And then she kind of like tripped out for a minute. And then I fucking went to the girl and I started playing handball with her. And then the girl, Katrina, she was really, she didn't like that, right? Obviously, that I came up to her. So then she starts talking shit to me. And I don't remember the details of what she was saying or whatever, but, she starts talking shit like, oh, look at her. She's playing with her. And it's like, and I just kept playing and I kept going, but she kept going. Girl kept going, 9 years old. And it got to a point, you guys, where I was like, no, because that is one thing about me. I'm super zen. I am very composed. And, I've always been this way. I wasn't this kid who would walk around and like, I never had to be tough. You always knew not to fuck with me, but I always have been really giggly and laughy. But, underneath it all, I don't know, man, there is something that lets people know, like, don't even, right? And yeah, I stepped to her and I was like, so what? What do you want to do about it? Basically. So me and this girl, we're going to go toe to toe. And the whole thing gets stopped by a teacher, but I can visually remember the moment, like right now, the teacher, her right here in front of me. And all of this shit started because she was picking on this girl. And, the other girls in the group stayed quiet. And I understand that that's a hard position to be in, because she's kind of like the kind of leader, I guess. But to me, like, she was no leader, and this is now I understand, like, I am an alpha. I've always been an alpha, right? And I have nothing to prove, but it's that she was not my leader. And whereas the other girls, I'm sure they fucking felt what I felt. How could you not? What was this girl doing? Like, playing handball by herself, and now she's getting picked on. And, I just could not accept it. And I was not afraid to go up to her and just say, like, yo, back off. More than even go up to her, you guys, I wasn't afraid to go and play handball with the girl, like, to show her, like, yeah, girl, this is, yes, girl, let's do this, right? And one of the point of this story, yes, it's, fight for what you believe in. But what I really love and what I'm honoring myself for, and this has been a through line in my life and will forever be, is that I don't give a fuck if that girl was going to talk shit, if I wasn't going to be cool anymore, if I wasn't going to be, I really didn't care. In fact, like, I don't even want to be your friend. Okay. You're gross. Get away. I want to be her friend and play handball with her. And that is something that I really appreciate, is that, this authenticity and not being pressured by, these, I could have easily been pressured to stay quiet and just been, and even maybe join her, like, oh, yeah. And then inside feel really bad, right? That happens all the fucking time. But I didn't give into it. I stayed true to me. I stayed true to what I felt was right. I stayed true to the authenticity in me. And that is a through line. And that is so important. And to be here in this position right now at 41, moving into 42, and tell you with full honesty, like, man, this is fucking who I am. And this is always going to be who I am. Like, this piece right here, I just keep building on it and building on it, right? Doing the things that I'm doing and putting myself out there in all these ways. And, whether I get validated or not, I'm still doing it, and I'm doing it with all of my truth and all of my heart. So that's the piece for you that I want to, just like this thought-provoking idea that, not only do I want you to not back down from what you, or, the fights that you that stand guard at your growth and the things that you really believe in and that you value, but I really want you to do this life with your authentic self. Like, just, you might not be the most popular. It might take you longer. It might, to get the things or to grow as fast and to all that stuff. it's not like I'm on the fast track highway. No, this shit is taking time. Let me tell you, some days feel like I'm moving through mud, but I'm so proud that I can sit here and tell you with every bit of honesty in me, like, there's no gimmick here. None. Like, take it or leave it. None. And there's something so powerful about this. The sense of ownership, the sense of, this is where real confidence comes from. My confidence is not because I'm fearless. No, there's always things that are fucking triggering me and, making me feel uneasy. I just know how to combat it really well. And overall, I understand, that this confidence, this empowerment that I have is coming from this deep level of authenticity that I am creating my life with, right? No matter what it means, no matter who likes it, who doesn't like it, how validated I am or not, or all the things, right? There's so much power in authenticity, truly. And that's it. That's what I want to share with you guys, I mean, man, I don't even know how long this episode has been at this point, but the big takeaways are, you guys, consistency, honor your yourself, move from your intuitive self, honor these healthy boundaries, right? Don't get stuck in the system, even the systems that you create for yourself that are healthy, especially when you feel inside that you might need to, do a little bit of this or that or do something different. That's what you honor. That's the most important thing, right? That's true control, right? And not being controlled by the things. Move towards the fight, you guys. Seek the fight. Move towards the fight that stands guard at your growth and your highest ideals in life. Fight for what you believe in. Fight for what you value. Take advantage of these everyday scenarios that come up that are putting yourself in the gym, this repetition work where you get better and better at, doing these things, showing up for yourself, not taking no for an answer, all the stuff I just shared. And, and to just put a bow on everything where I just left this was fucking be authentic, man. Do this thing called your life, your story. Like you are a lifestyle artist, I remember back in the day in Hawaii, people used to say that all the time to me, you're such a lifestyle artist. This is before Black Puppy. This is before any of this. And here I am. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a lifestyle entrepreneur. Like literally I've created a lifestyle brand, right? The most important piece here though, is that it is all being done from my most authentic self, right? So I want you, I just hope, I'm never force feeding, right? Like I'm not the end all be all. I'm just offering and sharing ideas that could be really supportive because I know that they have been and continue to be the case supportive to me in my life. And again, I'll just back to the beginning of the conversation, you guys, I'm very proud to say that at 41, leveling up to 42, I really am thriving in my life and I'm very grateful for it. And on that note, I want to say thank you. Thank you with all of my heart, with all of my being, for all of you who are actually, engaging with me and participating and supporting and paying attention. And even if you're the quiet one and you don't engage with me, but you're actually just taking in this content and it's doing something for you in your life privately without me even knowing, thank you. Because this is what it's fucking about for me. That's what it's about. I love hearing from you, but I don't even need it. If it's doing something for you, then fuck yeah. So, you guys, enough blue light for me. This shit is as raw and real as it gets. I love you all. I just wrapped Solosode number 2. And by the way, this was so hard for me to get done, but I was like, no, we're going to do this today. And, I got that last bit of little sunlight and I was really pumped to be here with you. So now I'm going to exit out and start my nighttime routine that makes me feel really yummy and good and just say, thank you. I love you. And I'm so, so excited always to be right back here with you again. Love you guys. Peace out.